factory is right here, and I'm so lucky to be here with Amy. Nice to see you, Amy.
Hi.
Now, talk about scoring the golden ticket. What's it like to be working in the chocolate factory?
I eat a lot of chocolate.
Do you?
I
Did
do.
you have any for breakfast?
I did.
Okay, I would too. It's a breakfast of champions.
Yes, it
Now,
is.
tell me, you are the great-great-granddaughter of Guittard himself, the founder. Can
Yes.
you tell me a little bit about the history of this factory?
Yeah, my great-great-grandfather Etienne came from France looking for gold. He came to San Francisco and he brought chocolate with him to trade for mining supplies. And when he got to San Francisco, he realized that the merchants were the ones making more money than the gold miners. So he went back to France, learned how to make chocolate, and came back to San Francisco and opened our first factory down on Sansom Street. And then we moved down to Burlingame in about 1954.
So you're telling me chocolate's more profitable than gold. I can see why. Now tell me about the process of chocolate making.
Yeah. Yeah, so here down at our factory in Burlingame, we just make chocolate.
Okay.
We make chocolate that's used as an ingredient with confectioners, artisan chefs, bakers, and we source cocoa from all over the world. It grows 10 to 15 degrees either side of the equator. So we get cocoa beans from Peru, Ecuador, Ghana, Ivory Coast, even Hawaii, which is the northernmost region where cocoa can grow. We have a single origin Hawaiian, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
But then we make chocolate and in a variety of forms here that home bakers can purchase, but a lot of pastry chefs and, as I said, bakers use these products. We've got chips, wafers, super cookie chips, and bars.
Now, you are the perfect person to ask. When you're dealing with all these different sizes and percentages of chocolate, how does it affect baking? Now, is this one batter, but they respond differently to the chocolate?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So right here, what we're displaying is one batter that we've used. A lot of consumers kind of have this concept of, do I like a chewy cookie or a crunchy cookie? Here, we're using the same batter, but the variable that we're using is chocolate. So in this first example, we're using your standard chocolate chip cookie. So you've got 3 different chips here. One's a 46%, which is more of your standard semi-sweet chocolate. Here we have a 63%. This is a milk chocolate. The difference between the 63 and the 46 is just going to be the intensity of flavor.
Right.
Your 63% cacao is the amount of cocoa mass that's in it. And you can see that the distribution of the chocolate chips is pretty even in the cookie.
Yeah.
A chocolate chip has less butter in it, so it's going to not melt as much when you bake it. Here,
So it has more structure. this
correct.
one.
Yeah. Here, we're showcasing what would happen if you made a chocolate chip cookie using wafers. So the wafer has more butter in it than a chocolate chip, which is why it's a little bit more puddly, and you see you kind of have a layering of chocolate that happens just because the wafer is melting when you bake it.
Yeah, chocolate in every bite.
Absolutely. And this one, this is a super cookie chip. It's a little bit of a hybrid between a wafer and a baking chip.
Look at that.
And so
That's
it's going to
interesting.
melt not as much as your wafer, but you're still going to have that structure. And then lastly, we have our baking bars, which are chopped baking bars. A lot of consumers don't think that you can make a chocolate chip cookie with these, but what happens is when you chop them really finely, it gets distributed in the dough in a really beautiful organic manner.
Yeah, definitely. So we could see how it looks like in the dough. So when you chop it up in the bar and you mix it into the dough, look at the nice even distribution. That ensures chocolate in every bite. Well, thank you so much, Amy, for that Chocolate 101. Hopefully, just when you go to the market, you won't be overwhelmed by all of the chocolate varieties.
Yeah.
And since I'm in the factory and I got all these cookies in front of me, I'm going to make like a Cookie Monster right now, and I will see you in a few.
Oh, it sounds so good. You are in chocolate heaven, and I love it. Thank you so much, Blanche.